Hello, my beautiful friends. Namaste. I'm Jill Loftis of Nuit Astrology. Welcome to your planetary energy forecast for the week of August the 28th, 2023. We are prepping for a really interesting week and a fascinating month of September. September, it kind of follows the theme that we've had the last couple weeks of tremendous blessings and tremendous challenges kind of all being balanced at the same time. One of the major things to kind of keep in mind during this time period of not just this week, but going into next month is the enormous number of planets that are retrograde. Now let's do a little review of what retrograde is. Retrograde means that the planets appear to be moving backwards in the sky, and therefore they are retracing certain degrees in the astrological chart. A retrograde cycle is where the term 3 times a charm comes from, right? Because it comes up, it hits the point, pauses, goes back against that sensitive point, and then comes forward again. It's kind of like you get it, you got it, good, right? And so if you don't get it the first couple times, that's when really big events occur to kind of blast us onto the right pathway, right? The whole idea of astrology is not to sit around and think, oh no, what terrible things are going to occur. It's just checking the astrological weather so that you're prepared to make the decisions, to loosen your grip on certain things, to really, focus, because that's where energy goes. Energy follows focus, right? So keep in mind the enormous number of retrogrades we have. We begin this week on August 28th with Uranus stationing retrograde. So it's at 23 degrees in the sign of Taurus. So it's going to be moving back, all the way back to 19, really totally reevaluating, rethinking, redoing, reestablishing things in the Taurus area of life that have happened between mid-May and now, okay? In addition to Uranus going retrograde, keep in mind we have Mercury retrograde, we have Venus retrograde, we have Jupiter getting ready to station, not quite, but getting ready to station retrograde next month. And then now we have Uranus, we have Neptune, and Pluto. Really the only direct planets that we're going to be dealing with here is going to be Mars, right? And Venus will go direct next month, but it's still going to be in the shadow, right? So really, Mars is all we got, all right? And Mars is about to step into the sign of Libra, where he doesn't really dig being, right? So all of these events are just really important for us to keep in mind. And actually, yeah, Mars did just go into Libra over the weekend. So that is another thing to keep in mind as we're starting this week. We have a new vibe with Mars in Libra, a focus on relationships, partnerships, a little bit more of a collaborative vibe. We also, as we're starting this week, we're still kind of have a little astrological hangover from the sun standing across the sky from Saturn. Saturn tends to fire late, okay? It's one of those things where you kind of make it through and then all of a sudden, bam, here it comes. So watch this potential balance issue that needs to be achieved between the Pisces and Virgo areas of life. Virgo in particular next month is going to be hugely aspected, and so over these next few weeks, be sure anytime you have a question about how to approach something, approach it like the highest vibing Virgo that you know. Be discerning, be logical, think things through, make lists, get facts, stay grounded. Be of service, be useful. Sometimes I think one of the biggest issues that we have in society, in the world these days, is people don't feel like they have a purpose or a meaning, right? And we do. We all have a way that we are to serve in this world, to serve life. And the crazy thing is by serving others and helping others, who do we help the most? You know it, you. You help yourself the most when you help others, right? That's just the way. This is a cosmic dance of reciprocity, this particular little realm of the universe, right? You can't only breathe out, you can't only breathe in. There's darkness and there's light, there's up and there's down, there's hardship and there's ease, and there's this just bindu in the center, this point of balance that we all need to try to achieve. All right, I feel like that was a little ranty, sorry. Let's hop into the week. So we are taking note on Monday, the 28th. That is the day that Uranus stations in the sky. And because these slow moving planets, when they station retrograde, my teacher called it like a brand, like a timestamp. So really pay attention to it. The Uranian themes that relate to the internet and technology, that relate to groups of people, the masses, so to speak. you know, it relates to where you feel limited, restricted, or unable to be unique, your unique and beautiful self, right? So there could be a feeling of limitation. There can also always be shocking events that occur when Uranus stations, and especially because it's in Taurus, they can be shocking weather-related or earth-related events. So keep it nice and stable. We have a beautiful Capricorn moon on that day, which is another little element that helps to stabilize. There is a moon void again, 7:49 a.m. to 10:32 a.m. Eastern, so don't schedule any bright and early Monday morning meetings because it's going to be really hard to get any traction. See if you can really feel that shift of vibration of Mars and Libra as well, and kind of see where you need to be a little bit more action oriented in the Libra sector of your chart. This is something that's going to be also really helpful, especially when you feel like a lot of things are, you know, you're not necessarily making traction because you're doing all this review with all these retrograde planets, right? All these things coming back from the past, things that you thought you dealt with, people you thought you were over with, you know, like here they come again, right? Don't be upset, don't be angry, observe it, see it, allow yourself to be initiated to the next level of understanding with whatever that is, and then keep going. All right, we have a blue moon on August the 30th. What is a blue moon? Well, it just means when there's 2 full moons in a month, right? So this one is at 7 degrees, 25 minutes of Pisces at 9:36 p.m. Now keep in mind, early degrees Pisces, who else is there? Oh, our dear teacher, Saturn is there. And so this full moon is going to hit Saturn right before it reaches peak fullness. This adds a little bit of seriousness to things, right? Pisces tends to want to be pretty dreamy, inspired, artistic, merging, right? And then there's the coldness of Saturn here saying, yo, come on, like let's get a little bit more practical here, right? So it's marvelous for releasing anything in the Pisces area of your chart, and cord cutting rituals or very like specific, you know, endings of things. Just, you know, shit that just gotta go. It's gotta stop, whether it's people, patterns, whatever it is. This is an excellent full moon to let those things be released. All right. It is, you know, be dedicated, right? Be, you know, be Capricorn about it, right? That's a good Saturn sign, right? So whatever rituals that you do, don't be, you know, a dreamy, intuitive kind of ritual. Be a very precise ritual. Write it down. Have a plan. Really honor any kind of tradition or spiritual tradition that you might be involved with. That is the best way to work with this energy. All right. On the 31st, our last day of the month, the moon is still going to be in Pisces. It's going to send really lovely energy over to the planets that are in Taurus right now, which is Jupiter and Uranus. And then it's going to stand across the sky from Mercury and Virgo. I find this to be a day to balance heart and head, to balance intuition and rationality, right? So I kind of like that. September the 1st, Rabbit, welcome to the month of September. We have a moon void again in the morning, 6:36 a.m. to 9:25 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So take a little walk on or watch on that. And then as we get to the 2nd of the month, remember Mercury is moving backwards. And because it is moving backwards, it's making multiple connections to these Taurus planets, right? And it is beginning to pick up a trine again to the Jupiter in Taurus. This is inspired, wonderful ideas. Get out in nature, right? These are 2 earth signs, so get out in nature, go for a walk. Make sure you have time to, you know, really, you know, be embodied, but yet like think. You know, make the time for ideas, because with Jupiter there sending like all those great, you know, connections to Mercury and the sign that it loves to be in Virgo, I can really see some potential insights. So make sure you're journaling on that day. On the 3rd, we are paying attention because Venus will pause in the sky and begin to move direct. She is at 12 degrees in the sign of Leo. And so she will begin her forward movement. Now, keep in mind, she's still not going to be where she needs to be in order to really get traction in that Leo sector of life until we get to October. So still don't schedule those, you know, tattoo sessions. Don't make radical changes, but really look and see how your value system, what you love, what you want, how those things have begun to shift and change in some profound and meaningful way. We have another moon void that day. The moon is in Aries, and it's going to be void from 7:57 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern. So again, kind of floaty, dreamy, fantastic artistic time, but not a time for deep thinking, hard decisions. Don't schedule the interview then, etc. Right? And then on the 4th, Jupiter stations retrograde at 15 degrees of the sign of Taurus. So again, 3 planets stationing this week. One moving forward, right, Venus, and the other 2 moving backwards, both Uranus and Jupiter, both in the sign of Taurus. So some real pauses around Tauran-related things: money, finances, food, the planet herself, right? All of these things are going to be in a high focus. And keep in mind that Jupiter stations at 15 degrees of Taurus, in case you have any sensitive points there, right on my sun. Mercury in Virgo begins to pick up the trine to the Jupiter and Taurus more precisely. So even though Jupiter is stationing, it's like still like vibing with the Mercury. So again, ideas. We also have the moon in Taurus, which is going to accentuate all of these blessings to the sun and Mercury in Leo, but it will clash a little bit with Venus before it touches that Jupiter and becomes, just really amplifies the desire nature. So just, make sure you're not going over the top with your, Tauran wants and needs, right? It's a very cheese and wine moon, all right? So be a little careful and cautious. All right, my friends, let's see what the tarot has to say. I really appreciate you watching. I appreciate any comments below. Let me know if this was useful and helpful, and I'll see you next week. Namaste. Hello, my friends. Welcome to your Isis Lotus Tarot spread for the week of August the 28th, 2023. So let's see what's going on here with this super retrograde week, man. So 2 options. Gemini the cat says hello. Jeez, cat. All right, reading for the collective for the week. As you know, this particular spread has 2 different ways to work with the energy. All right, let's roll. So the first card is like what the culmination of the past, right? So in the past that we're bringing forward into the present is the moon. Lots of emotionality, lots of big feels, lots going on beneath the surface, right? A little bit of uncertainty. And then there's you. Oh goodness, you are the devil. This could be someone who's extremely stressed. This is someone who could be having some kind of, addictive tendencies or really darker energies about. So we've got to be a little careful, cautious here. The environment, 6 of Pentacles, you're pouring energy or money into something. Could be problematic if your role is the devil, right? So you might need to be a little bit more cautious, careful. As these energies culminate, the Temperance card arrives. So this is about balance, about being moderate. All right. Very important that you do this. Do not go to extremes. All right. Key card of the future is the Strength card. Be a high vibing Leo, right? Be, patient, strong, kind. This is like the total, the power, the strength, the true strength that comes from, divine feminine qualities, right? All right, and then the modifiers, opposing forces in play with the Strength card. We've got the Page of Cups. So our desire nature, wanting to start something that's really emotionally fulfilling, or the 8 of Pentacles, which indicates working more on something you've already been working. So there's this kind of duality of, do I initiate this new thing or do I keep plugging on this other thing? All right. Now, the near future key card, the Empress. All right. Well, this is an indicator that there is some creative project that you really have to spend some time and energy on, right? She's very potent, very fertile energy here. All right. Modifiers for the Empress. 10 of Pentacles, okay, groovy. This is awesome. So you have something to really give. This is for the side that has this new kind of initiation starting, right? And then with the 8 of Pentacles, we've got the Death card. there's something you've got to let go of in order to continue working on this, all right? Now, we've also got the Hermit with the 10 of Pentacles. So perhaps you really have to access this information or resources deep within yourself by pulling back and really taking some time, whether it's time in silence, time to meditate, making a personal retreat for yourself. You've got to be able to tap into your guides in order to access this. With the Death card on the 8 of Pentacles side, it suggests being balanced about it, all right? Endings don't have to be dramatic, right? It's not a Tower ending, it's a death ending. It's a natural letting go of whatever's keeping you from working for this creative project. All right, on the Page of Cups side, the last two clarifications, we've got the 10 of Wands here. So this is like, it's really easy for you to overwork here or to just not delegate or think that you need to do it all by yourself, and that's not true. On the 8 of Pentacles side, 10 of Cups, so really, this is, you're really working towards an abundant future for your family on this side. So it's more of a group karma-oriented thing. This is, I think, more of an individual. Yeah, and then paired with the 10 of Wands is the Ace of Wands. So it's like you've got this idea that sparks up, right? That's something you want to create. And you already have the resources. You have the information. It's deep within you. You just have to tap into it and don't make it harder than it needs to be, right? And, get going. Start putting the things in play. Paired with the 10 of Wands, we have the King of Wands. And so this is more about initiating through decision-making and being in charge, right? So you've got this project. You've already been studying, working, preparing, and it's time to birth this baby, right? Okay, just because there's retrogrades doesn't mean we're not making movements forward, but there has to be some space cleared, some endings, and you need to go about those things in a really balanced, wise way, not too much, not too little. Keep your eyes on the prize of a happy, healthy, abundant home life, and make the hard decisions that you need to make to get there. All right, well, fascinating week, especially in alignment with all these, Venus moving forward, Uranus and Jupiter moving backwards. There's a push-pull for sure, but these, I think, both indicate there's some really positive blessings to be achieved this week. So take this beautiful energy, take this gorgeous flow from Jupiter and Mercury, and go with it. Have a great week, my friends.